What's going on out there, good people, and welcome back to LMD Trading, where I am living my dream trading. Hope everybody out there is doing well in these YouTube streets. As for myself, I'm doing good. Sitting down at the desk to get another daily trade recap out of the way. Didn't get one done yesterday. I had little people in the house and they just did not want me to be great and get this video done. So getting it done today. So we'll just look at trades for yesterday. Not going to actually recap them. Wasn't much to recap. It was a very nice day yesterday, partly due to a weekend hold. But today was a good day. Today was a red to green day. I actually took a trade on the SPY that I was kind of frustrated with how it ended up. And then looking back at the chart, I don't think that it was all that bad, because I don't think that it really hurt me that I stopped out the way that I did. But let me bring up TRADERVUE, and we gonna hit this button right here and jump right on into it. So today is Tuesday, May 23rd. Took a total of 6 trades, closed P&L 241. That was on this being initially the red day. This trade had not closed out. This trade here had not closed out. So I was red $75. I was in this trade and it was still red at the time. Got to leave my stop in place. And then I got up from the desk and I took these 2 trades, set back down, popped up the system, and we were up good. One of these was a good exit. One of them, we left a little bit of money on the table. And the reason that I ended up getting out of that one trade was because both of those I was managing based on the actual option chart and not based on the stock chart. Had I looked at the stock chart, I would have stayed in one of those a little bit longer, and I would have got out of the one that I did get out when I did. XFOR, this was an overnight hold. Had to take the stop on it. I still think that's a good trade, but I had to take the stop. And let's look at Monday, May 22nd. It's total 7 trades. It's really 6. One of them was an overnight hold. Closed P&L 437.85. Banger. Red trade on ENVB. That was a stock trade, showing that we were up a max of 401. Max unrealized losses is what we took on the stop. AMD, this was a blunder trade. I had my hand over the buy button, actually clicked the button, got in the trade, got right back out of it. This is XFOR. This was us getting into that position that you saw was red today. SPY, small green. ABB, this was a stock trade, small stock trade. FL, man, this was a one that I had hopes for a bounce for. This is why they tell you don't be hoping for something. Trade what the chart is showing. Chart was showing exactly what this thing is doing. Had I went short, I'd be up nicely. And then Tesla, weekend hold. Banger. Banger. And Tesla ran the entire day. We'll take a peek at that chart. See if it's going to show where I got out of it at. There we go. So entry was here. This is Friday. Exit Monday morning on the pop. Decent exit, catching it as it's coming back down. But look at what this thing continued to do the rest of the day. Look at what that thing did the rest of the day. And then it opened this morning, gapping down, and it's back off to the races again. Tesla is beast mode. Tesla is beast mode. Missed some good opportunities on that. But let's go ahead. Let's bring up Thinkorswim. Let's go ahead, take a look at what we did today. And we'll actually look at Foot Locker real quick, just so you can see what I'm talking about. So Foot Locker had bad earnings. Horrible. Big flush down. You can see it was, I got these areas marked on the chart. It was hugging. I should not have taken this, and I went long on this. I went calls. Should not have did it until it broke this area, retested, and then went higher. This thing is just bled off from me getting in around 31 all the way down to 27. The thing with it was this was a stock trade. So I can't take shorts in this account. So this just would have been a trade that I wouldn't have been able to take. Because it's very thinly traded. I wouldn't have wanted to take an option trade on this one. So here's what it is. That's what a stop is in place for. It don't work, take your stop, keep it pushing. Let's look at the SPY real quick. It's ugly. This is what you call fugly. Pre-market, SPY got down below previous low of day. Kind of got back over it, chopped around, and then it gave it up right here around 12:30, and it's just been flushing down. If you notice my charts, I have new moving averages, new lines. I am always trying to improve myself when it comes to trading. This was something that I started doing when I first got into trading, was like moving average crossovers, seeing how the stock acts in relation to the moving averages. So what I have here, and I moved my darn camera off my desk on the tripod and I still kick it. I have a fast and a slow moving average for each of these time frames. Fast is green, slow is this kind of maroon, purple. I don't know what you would call it, violet maybe. So fast, slow, 50 moving average on the hourly. Fast, slow. I'm not sure if the 50 is on this 4-hour chart. Nope. So we got fast and slow. And for each time frame, I kind of went through and figured out what was a good moving average to where I can see it actually holding and offering support or resistance. So these aren't all set to the same time frame, but they're set to a time frame that works for that particular chart. Thought process is I can easily look and tell a trend. Green below, that's a downtrend. Green below, that's a downtrend. 4-hour chart, it had been in an uptrend. We are getting that crossover right now. Starting to set up for the downtrend. Next one's going to be a 12-hour. 12-hour still in an uptrend. And of course, we got the weekly. Usually this would be a daily. I've gone back to the 12-hour. I like 12-hour because I can turn after hours on. So all 4 of these have after hours turned on. Weekly, of course, is just the weekly. But that's my layout. All of my charts now look that way. And look at what the SPY is doing, y'all. This is ugly. I'm gonna watch the SPY down to this blue line, see how it reacts. That is the weekly up channel. I want to see how that's going to react. You may see me taking some calls overnight and holding for tomorrow if that acts as support. But let's go ahead. Let's switch this over to our 3-chart layout. I think I've switched these. I did not. I'm going to show you how easy it is. Once you create studies, how easy it is. You can save those studies and then it's so easy to drop them on new charts. Booyah. Look at that. The one thing that I do know is that this has open interest on it. No, it doesn't. That is the ATR. It's just in purple. So we're good with that. Let's do that. On the hourly, which one do we want to use? Let us see. Studies load. Do I have one for the hourly? I do not. Let's go with that one. Still works. Still works. So there we go. All right, let's go ahead and get looking at these trades that we took. First one's going to be IDAI. Pre-market trade. Took this pre-market. So let's come on over, take a peek, see if we can find something on here that makes it interesting and worthwhile for taking a trade. Show trades. Oh, I'm in the wrong account. I'm in my IRA. Let's go to the cash account. And let's try that again. Where are the trades? Boom, boom. There they are. Okay. 1 minute chart shows nothing, which I know pre-market. I am not taking an entry on the 1 minute. This was a little early. See a little somewhat 2 minute 3-bar play right here. Wide range, narrow range coming right up to this area. Thought, get in when it breaks. Of course, you have to get in when it breaks. But notice what I did. I got in as this came down. I'm getting in like right here at the base. Getting in at the base right there. We see that it does not trigger. And I just hang on for the ride. My stop was down here. My stop was going to be down here. This comes down. So I'm in 100 shares right there. I'm in at 173. This comes down. I grab another 50 shares at 166. And take this for the ride. Comes down, test previous high of day. And then we get the move. I get out of this one at 208. Where are we getting out at? Right there. As this makes this big flush down. So good exit right there. Just kind of bar by barring this one. Once this did get good in the money, it made 56 bucks off of it. Initially was risking about $15 maybe, 10, 15 bucks. Average down just a little bit when this came back down. So probably had a total risk on for maybe 20 bucks. And this thing went about 3R. It was up over 60 bucks at its height. So made about 3R off of the trade. Not a bad trade. We got it over here on the hourly chart. You can kind of look at the same picture. Kind of made this dip coming back up. Here you can see why I had those lines on the chart coming off of the hourly from yesterday. Or actually not from yesterday, from last week, last Wednesday. So once it broke that area, it's going to be a good trade. And we do see it. Once it finally broke that area, got the move that I wanted. Next area of concern was going to kind of be these little tails. So you see that one kind of tried to push up. It got up to that one, busted straight through that one, got up to this last one, and now you're getting a little bit more resistance through there. One way that I like to use these lines, green above the red, I can go long on a trade. Green below the red, I can go short. Can't go no other way. If this green line is below the red line, I cannot take a long position because the chart is not, or the trade is not established for me to take that. And when they're stacked like this, green, red, gold, that's how I want them to be stacked. That's what I would call a stacked position, because you see what happens. Notice how this thing came down and it tested the red line, the slow moving average, and then it tested the broken gold line, VWAP, I can easily set stops based off of these moving averages and the VWAP. But if they're not stacked in that order, it messes up where I can kind of set my stops at. And then once you break the higher low or lower high, then that move is basically dead. So once you get on this side, that move's basically dead. But that's IDAI. Let's go ahead and take a look at the SPY real quick. Thought this was a decent trade, but it was not. Let's get over here, look and see where our entries are at. Grab 2 contracts on this one. Decent stop placement, but you're gonna see when I stopped out, it really was not where I wanted to stop out. And I'll kind of explain it to you. So market opens, we're kind of choppy through here. Let's go ahead and drop a arrow on the entry. Come on. Get on board, get to the right date, and then we can get on board. There we go. All right, there we are. So getting in on this candle right here. And what you're probably going to see is what I just explained, how I like to have them stacked. It was not. Let's drop that arrow right there. Up, boom. Let's come back. There we go. So SPY is in a downtrend. Green is below the red. Green is below the red. I get in before I get the green above, and I'm still kind of writing the rules for this, but one that instantly comes to mind is I need to have at least one uptrend going. I'm getting in way too early. So we get the change. We got the green above the red. You see VWAP right there, and look at it acting as support. But I would have wanted to see this do that, come back down, come up, and then establish the trend. I don't get the trend established, but I take this trade with the premise that I'm going to put my stop at low of day and then see what this trade does. See if we can trend higher. Again, expectation is going to be if this catches VWAP, or not VWAP, but if this catches hourly up channel or hourly 50 moving average, it's a wrap. Can't do nothing with it. But before I even do that, I got to look to the left like Beyonce say. I could just look at this pivot right here, drop a line. I don't need to go no further. That's going to be first area of concern. Look at what it does. Peekaboo's over, comes back, peekaboo's over. This second one that doesn't break, I need to be out this trade. I can't hope that it's going to break on the third time. This is the test. This is the retest. Get out of the trade for whatever I can get out of. Had I got out right there, I would have been getting out at 70 cents. I would have made like $8 on the trade. But that's it. Scratch the trade. Scratch the trade. And then if it does break it and it gives you the retest, now this is fully established. So one word that I was using a lot yesterday was I was saying that I didn't see edge in trades as I was reviewing the charts, as I was looking for trades. There was no edge in this trade. There was none. So again, bad decision. But looking at this chart and my stop being right here, when this thing did this pullback, it would not have stopped me out being a stock play. But let's come over and look at the option chart. So I'm gonna move this so we can see it. So low for the option is right there. I get stopped out in this candle because it's breaking that low. But again, it never breaks the actual low on the chart. And that's why I was saying I was a little upset that it stopped me out, because it really was not where I wanted to stop out at. But this thing never did work. And you notice even on the option chart, VWAP is acting as resistance. You can trade an option chart just like you can trade the stock chart, as long as there's good liquidity and good volume in it. But that was the SPY. Let's take a peek at Meta real quick. Meta kind of got, I won't say blazed. Usually I'm risking $10 to $25 per contract. This one I took the 25 and got tagged on. This is another one though, at that same time, that same shakeout candle is the same one that kind of shook me out on this one. So let's go ahead. Let's switch back to an arrow. Let's mark our entry first. And let's come on over, because we got 2 trades on here. So first one, we're getting in on this candle, going long. I see the same problem. I see the same problem as the first trade. And then you'll notice after that, I kind of accounted for it. So I'm basically about to mark all of these real quick, and then we'll take a peek at how we were trading it. So I got out of this one basically in that candle right there. All right, so same premise. Meta, green below. This is in a downtrend. Green below, green below. Market opens, we get the transition from green below to green above. Not fully stacked because we got VWAP in between them. I take the entry right here without seeing the retest to go higher so that we can get that transition. So I get in right here. One thing that I didn't put, oh yeah, I did. I'm in right here. My stop technically should be like down below this candle. You see I get tagged above it. That's just options. But I didn't get the retest in this little transition. So this kind of curls and I get back in right here. That's early. I am in early. Here was the good entry. Notice they're in the same exact spot though, but this was the good entry when it broke back above. So we kind of dip down, we break back above. Good entry right there, but no harm, no foul. And then I trade this back up. And I trade this 2 minute bar by bar. 2 minute bar by bar. And this comes up a little bit more. Let's look out to the left real quick. Actually, I'm gonna come here and drop a line right here. And then I'm gonna just look down there at the hourly chart. So we're dropping that line. Yep, you got that resistance right there. It's gonna show up on this chart right there. That's why they say look to the left. Look to the left. I don't even need to know that is there. If there's a pivot over here in the present, there's going to be something over to the left in the past that is causing that to be an area of concern. But get out right there. It's had a little more room in it. I'm getting out at 360. This thing goes 430, $70 on one contract. Not bad, not mad at the exit again, because I was 2 minute bar by barring my way out of this one. And decent trade, decent trade. We see that this thing has came back down. Look at that head and shoulders. We were talking about head and shoulders in the Discord this morning. Not really a clean one though. Got a little lower shoulder there, but boom, come up, boom, you get another shoulder. This thing is back down. And it's just tanking. The market is just, this is ugly what the market is doing right now. If we look we look, we see what's up today. ADAI, it's up 18% since the market opened. That's the banger. Amazon is up almost 0.75%. And AMD is up about 33%. But let's go ahead, take a look at Amazon. That's one of the ones that was up. And we'll look at that one. And this is going to be the last one because we got both of them, both metas out of the way. Amazon is going to be another one that we kind of just grabbed onto out the door as I was leaving my desk. And it almost was good that I kind of did this because I kind of just walked away from it and didn't sit there and try to manage this. You know, usually I'll kind of sit there and try to manage my way out of these trades. But looking at Amazon, green below the red, it's indicative of a downtrend. Green below red, indicative of a downtrend. Market opens, we get the crossover. This thing makes this huge move up. I'm about to get away from the desk. I jump in right here. I put my stop down at this little pivot area right here. Actually, probably more so was this pivot, but giving it a little extra room. And this thing needed all of that room. All of it. Imagine that I put my stop at the 50 moving average. I would have got stopped out. So because of how I took this trade, I knew I needed to give it a ton of room. And that room actually worked. Let's look at where we got out of this one at, though. This is what I like. This was what I really liked about the trade. Seeing where I actually got out of this thing at. And again, as I'm managing my way out of this trade, I'm looking at the option chart. So I'm managing this like 2-minute bar by bar. So if you notice, once this thing started paying, it never broke the low of the previous candle until this candle right here. And I stop out at 160. So not even really taking this full stop out at $1.53. Kind of see the writing on the wall because I saw a previous high of day was above it on the option chart, but actually looking at the stock chart, we had broke previous high of day and it failed it. So good exit. But again, this entry is a little premature. Wait till I get this pullback and then we get the second established move. And here's that stack. Green, red, gold. Green, expect to pull back no more than till the red. If you're trading in this zone, know that it can come back there. But look at how this thing just hugged. Look at what it did right there. It came and it retested it, kind of pushed back up. If I was still in this trade after this move, when this came here and it didn't break the high, I'm out of the trade. I'm out of the trade. And let's do the same thing. Let's drop a line right there. Let's come over. That's right there. Look at over to the left on the hourly. I'm going to scroll over here. Watch, you're going to see all kinds of junk up there. And where did that area just go to? Man, it's way up there. There we go. So that's this area way up here. Where's that junk at? That may be. Yeah, this is out last week. So that's how far this went out to. This Wednesday of last week is where that area was at. And actually, we see it pre-market the previous day, though, right there, coming through there. So that's why it's important to kind of go back a few days and use those prior pivots. And sometimes even what I've found is looking inside of the pivot and you find areas. That's a perfect example right there. I'm gonna drop it. Look at that tail, that tail, that tail. You come through there, you got bodies touching. So what is that? Like 115.70? That was a key area. That's not the pivot. That's not the pivot. That's inside of there. You can drop it on top of that pivot. I'm sure you're going to see some candles that was touching that one coming through there. So that's technical analysis right there. This was a long one. This was a long one. I appreciate y'all checking me out. If you are still here, if you hadn't hit that like button already, please do so. If you're not subscribed, please think about subscribing. And as always, we can continue the conversation in the comment section. Interesting past 2 days. Been some of my better past 2 days. And like I said, I'm just always trying to improve myself as a trader, trying to find what works for my personality. And if you're getting into trading, make sure that you find a system that fits your personality. Just because somebody else's system is profitable and it's good for them, it might not necessarily fit your personality. So that's one of the biggest things that I'm learning with trading is that there are so many different ways to make money trading. Find the one that suits your personality. Find the one that fits you and then make that the best that you can. Tweak it. Find things. Something may work for a minute and then it may not work. You might have to discard it. Or it may take some time for you to figure out what's going to work for you. You see, I do the channels. You see now kind of playing with the moving averages, a fast and a slow is how I like to call them. So find what works for you. And then once you find that it works, you're going to find that it works on probably all the time frames that you're looking at, all the different ways that you can trade it, whether it's the futures, whether it's ETFs, whether it's options, whether it's stocks. It's all about finding that system. So on that note, I'm going to wrap this one up. We'll be back at it again tomorrow. Peace.